Hi, this is Jana and welcome to my kitchen. Today, I feel like fall. It's our first decent week coming up where it's gonna be highs in the 80s and in the 70s, and for the South, that is fall weather. I'm so excited. So anyway, I'm gonna make white chicken chili. This doesn't have cream soups in it. This doesn't have any, this is so close to like what the Cheesecake Factory white chicken chili was years ago. I don't know about now. You can do one of two things. You can boil your own chicken thighs in water and then remove them and bone them and skin them and just, set the chicken aside. But I'm going to show you the faster way to do it. I went to Sam's Club today, and while I was there, it's like they had already put out early this morning some fresh rotisserie chickens. And so I went ahead and bought rotisserie chicken, and I'm making bigger than one batch. So I'm going to tell you what the recipe is, but you might see me put in more. And so I divided the meat out, and I saved the carcasses and the skin and the bones and everything. And so I'm going to put that into my stock pot here. And I say, the juice on the bottom of those rotisserie chickens, see, that's what that is right there. And as soon as I deboned them, I went ahead and put them into the refrigerator immediately until I could get to it this afternoon to do this process. And so as soon as I brought them home, I went ahead and deboned them. And now we're going to put this into the stock pot, and I'm going to let this simmer for about an hour to 2 hours. I have a fresh yellow onion. You can do it with a white onion too. Just make sure it doesn't have any molds or anything, but with the paper still on. And there's the other half. I'm going to drop that in there too, because that's just going to help enrich this. You can put a whole head of garlic in if you want to, but I don't normally put garlic in this soup recipe. And so now I'm just going to go about finishing things that I have to do, and we'll be back when this is ready and we will show you how to finish it up. There's a lot of ingredients in it, but this makes such a beautiful big batch that you'll be able to put some in your freezer, share some with family. You can even can it if you're, do canning. And so we're going to be back in just a few minutes. Okay, and we're back. You can do this in a couple of hours, but I actually did it about 6 hours. And this is what you have is all of this. And all of this is going to be discarded. Just make sure you let it drip out of the container. And that way, I happen to have one of these strainers, for pasta that my pot is. And then I can just let it sit here and drain. I also remembered after I turned it off that I had made some homemade wings, and then I keep all the tips for soup because they have a lot of collagen in it, and collagen is really good for your skin. So everything in here gets thrown away. I suppose if you don't give cooked chicken bones to dogs or anything, because those can really hurt them. And dogs can't have onions. So I don't know if you have other animals that can eat it, then that's fine, but don't let dogs get bones that have been cooked, because that can hurt their digestive system. So don't let them get into the trash either. So I'm going to throw all of this away. I'm going to lift it into the sink for just a minute. And so what's going to happen, you cannot use this yet, because if you do right now, you're going to have real greasy soup because of all the chicken skin and everything, but that skin gives flavor and the collagen and all that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this stock into these containers and put it in the refrigerator, probably overnight. You want to do it at least 8 hours. So if you do this in the morning or whatever, because all that fat's going to come up and you're going to want to skim all of that off and discard that fat. That's very important before you continue your soup. And then the other thing is if you don't want to do all this, that is absolutely fine, because you can just buy your rotisserie chickens or whatever and just use chicken stock. That's absolutely perfect to do. And so whatever method you want, chicken stock, chicken broth, whatever, chicken stock has more flavor. And you can just do that too for this soup. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. We'll be back and we're gonna finish this soup. Okay, welcome back. We let this sit at least 8 hours. We let it set overnight. This is the chicken stock that we made from the rotisserie chickens. And so I told you that we want the gelatinous parts fine, but we don't want is the fat, because it'll make your soup super fatty. We don't want that. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and skim all of this off, and then I'm gonna measure out what I need for the soup, which is gonna be 8 cups. And then we're gonna be right back to the stove. And if you don't want to make your own stock because you're in a hurry, that's fine. Buy a rotisserie chicken, and you can buy a box of the chicken stock, just like that. Just buy a rotisserie chicken, do this, and you're gonna have soup in less than a half an hour from the time you get home from the store. And so you can skip this whole thing, just buy a rotisserie chicken, it's already cooked, and take the meat off of it, and just buy a box of this. And so we're gonna turn over to the stove here in just a minute.